So this one is, my spouse wants to combine all of our finances. I want separate accounts plus one joint account. They say keeping money separate means I don't fully trust them. So I have dealt with this multiple times in relationships, in serious relationships only. I think that money conversations are vitally important to successful relationships. Like, they are maybe the most important. You Everyone has their opinions about money. Everyone has ways that they handle money. Everyone has a different level of respect for money. Everyone has different goals for their money, has different experiences growing up. So they have different anxieties about money. It's very rare that you have two people that just like have the same attitude about money. And that's okay, but you do have to have very transparent conversations about what you want from money, what they want from money, how you guys as a couple are going to handle money, because so many problems in relationships stem from this when it gets to like the serious parts of relationships. But also, we talk about this all the time in dating as well. Like, do we split the bill? Like, who pays for the Uber? Like, money is just, it's a part of our everyday lives. It is something that is serious. And the expectations that you have for money need to align with the person that you're dating, or the person that you're marrying, or the person that you're having kids with. So I have made the mistake of not having transparent money conversations in the past. I would not do that again if I was to be in a partnership, not just dating. Although I do think you have to have some conversations about that, like who's going to pay for the vacation and who's paying for this. But generally, when you get into a serious relationship, you do need to have this conversation, and it's uncomfortable and it can be vulnerable and kind of embarrassing, like depending on what part of your journey you're on. But I do think it's very important to have the conversation. So that being said, I do think you should stand your ground. If you want a separate account, now if you were both like, I want to keep it separate no matter what, that's a completely different conversation, especially if this is your husband. But having a joint account to pay bills, to pay for vacations, to save for retirement, like you guys discuss how much each of you put in, and decide like, okay, if I want to go buy something for myself, I spend it from my account. If, you want to buy something for yourself, you go spend it from your account. And if we need to buy things for each other, something for the house, if we need to buy groceries, if we need to pay the rent or the mortgage or the car, like that comes from our joint account. I think that is actually the best and healthiest way to have a relationship. One, because the idea that all of your money can be vulnerable to someone who's just going and taking it out or spending it makes me very uncomfortable. And also, like, look, it is what it is. Relationships sometimes fall apart, and you need to be able to have access to your own money as an adult. Like, you just do, woman or man. Like, we talk so much about abusive relationships. Like, financial abuse is a very real thing. It's common in almost every kind of abusive relationship. Not saying that this is one, but you need to have access to your own money, and you should have a safe place to put it, and you don't need to hide it under your mattress. Like, having your own bank account as an adult is a very normal thing to do. Is you don't have to hide it from them. Like, you can be transparent about what's in there, but yeah, you should have access to your own money at all points in your life. Like, from the time that you are a child and you are, having candy money, or you get birthday money, like, you should teach people how to have a real relationship with money. And when you are in a relationship, I think that you should have a joint account, absolutely. But I also think you should have your own accounts. Like, if you're going to get a divorce, you're going to have these money conversations anyway, but you should have access to your own money always. You never know what's going to happen. Emergencies happen. What if somebody has access to all the money, you don't have access to it, and they get in an accident?
Right.
What if you can't get a hold of them and your kid has an accident and you need access to money? You have to call and ask them. Like, these are just very silly things to me. And I've had these conversations with girlfriends. I'm still in these conversations to this day with people in my life. So it's really, really important to have transparent money conversations and get on the same page about those goals. But my personal way of handling it is, you have your account, I have my account, and we have a joint account, and we have a transparent conversation about how much needs to be in the joint account. It doesn't mean that you can just spend all your money. And
Right, because people will do that.
yeah, that's not what that means. It just means that you should have access to your own money at all points at time that you are an adult. Like, I just believe that. And I don't think it's about trust. I think it's about being an adult. Like, this whole notion that you get into a relationship or you get into a marriage and like you cease being a person, and like, yeah, you're a partnership, sure. But we don't have to lose our minds with like practically applying that to everything. I can have a bank account. So if I want to go buy a Starbucks, I can do that. Okay. Like, everyone take a beat. So that's my advice for this week. Thanks so much for being a part of the show. Make sure that you email us twopersonalpodcasts@gmail.com. Make sure you hit subscribe, follow us on social @twopersonalshow. Thanks to Haley for bringing Aiden in today. And thanks for hanging.